Hi and welcome to CertiKit. One of the main requirements of the ISO 27001 standard is that a program of internal auditing is in place. Certainly, without having an internal audit report to show the external auditor, it's unlikely your Information Security Management System, or ISMS, will become certified. One of the main questions we're asked about internal auditing is who is allowed to conduct it. There are two main parts to the answer. The first is that the auditor needs to be objective and impartial. This means it can't be someone who has been closely involved in the implementation of the ISMS, and it can't be someone who is actively involved in running it. If your organization doesn't have an established audit department, then you're probably looking at an external resource to fulfill the requirement. The second part of the answer is that the internal auditor has to have relevant education, training, or experience to be able to do a competent job of the audit. So ideally, they need to know something about information security, about the ISO 27001 standard itself, and about how to conduct an audit. The internal auditor doesn't have to have qualifications, but if they do, it's a good idea to obtain copies of their certificates and store them within your ISMS. Once you've identified suitable auditors, and it may be more than one, you need to arrange for them to carry out a full audit of the ISMS prior to your Stage 2 certification visit. Once you're certified, you have the option of spreading the internal audits out over a 3-year period, although it depends on how comfortable you feel with this. Your initial internal audit should be scheduled for when the majority of your ISMS is in place, but don't wait until it's perfect, or it will never happen. It's common for the first internal audit to be based around the structure of the ISO 27001 standard, but after this, some organizations choose to make their internal audits process-based. For example, an audit would address the sales process, the supplier management process, or the software development process. The main deliverable of the internal audit is the audit report, which should contain details of any non-conformities found. You should be well on the way to addressing these non-conformities by the time you get to your Stage 2 certification audit. The CertiKit toolkit provides a number of resources to help with the internal audit process, including an auditing procedure, audit plan, audit report, program, non-conformity action plan, and a checklist of appropriate questions for the internal auditor to ask during the audit. Used properly, internal auditing is a useful tool for continual improvement and avoiding nasty surprises when the external auditor next comes to visit. Thanks for watching.